Come on, everybody, let's start the show. A quick ahoy hoy and away we'll go. Richard's got a minifig and Flynn's got a pin. The gang's all here and it's time to begin. Tricky Bricks roll call. Moto, Holly, Kara, and sometimes Blair, Clicky, Logan, Ms. Thing and Angela, and Thunderman Ho! Now you're here to grab your bricks and let's go to the Tricky Bricks Build and Check Show!
Ahoy, hoy, friends.
Ahoy, hoy, everyone. How's it going? Who are you?
I don't know. I can't even see you, but I wasn't going to miss the opening, so I'll be right back.
I have no idea who that was. I have no idea. Oh, my goodness. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're having an awesome Sunday. We've got our coffee. We've got Logan here.
Well, not just any coffee. We have coffee from Stumptown Roasters.
Sorry, that wasn't from the coffee. Ugh.
Let's try that again.
Yeah. Sorry.
Suddenly a mouse in your mouth?
No, there was like a full-on hair in like a Logan hair in my mouth.
So this
go away. Anyway,
coffee that we're enjoying is from Stumptown Roasters in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, straight from Holly.
From Holly for Christmas. Thank you, Holly, who's not quite yet in the room. I do. Lego Don, I totally clap along.
Wow, you're wearing your Lego ring today.
I am. I'm wearing my elves dragon ring here from from Bricks Cascade. No, from Bricks LA.
Bricks LA. We haven't yet been to Bricks
We're
Cascade
doing so many conventions this year. I have to I'm trying to remember everything. So yeah, there you go.
Well, we're not travelers like some, but we got a busy year.
We do have a busy year.
For us.
It's going to be so Bricks LA, Bricks Cascade, Brick Rodeo, and then Billund for the Lego House and Scareback.
That'll be cool.
I know. I'm very excited.
I imagine I just have this idea of Scareback as a
Scareback.
Sorry, that's a whole different thing.
I'll scare you back. All right. Anyway,
of Scareback as a Fabuland Wonderland.
Okay,
that's what I hear. You can get a lot of Fabuland there.
Well, there's definitely more Fabuland there than there is here. But you know what we have more of here that they don't have there?
Hamburgers.
I don't know about that, but I do know that they don't have Forest Men.
Really,
is something that apparently was never released in Europe. So there you go. So yesterday,
yes,
we had a very exciting time. We had like a little mini Tricky Lug meeting in Alameda, which is a little town close by, and it
was like an Alameda.
An Alameda. Indeed. There was so Brickanista was there, Cornado was there, Bubs and Lava Bat and his mom.
Cornado's daughter.
Yes, Cornado's daughter was there. Bubs and Lava Bat and his mom, Cup of Bricks, were both there. We saw Joel, Half Studs Will Travel, Marbella, little Mr. Troublemaker, and and Maraid was there. It was delightful.
It was super fun.
Yeah, it was.
And we looked at vintage toys together.
We did. We went to a little vintage toy store. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, the weather was nice. It was super cheerful. And you know what? All those people we just mentioned have legs.
They do. They're not just and they actually have bodies. They're not just names floating, floating around in the air. So hey, Shane Levan is here. How's it going?
This armrest here is
we could be like on the airplane.
I could just I'll just put my arm around you. How about that? We'll just have a show like this.
So how vintage were the toys? Going back, I mean, I think the oldest one I saw was probably maybe from the 50s. Like I know they had a bunch of old Barbie stuff. So there was like, that there may have been older, but that's just what I
What, like, on initial thinking, that's what I think.
I was looking for Micronauts because in 1970, what, 77 or something like that, I had little Micronauts, and they had way up on the like gold bar level of things I'm even afraid to ask the price of. It was hung up so high on the wall. They had a Micronauts spaceship.
Okay, how much was the Micronauts spaceship?
I didn't ask. I was afraid. He was like, the things that are really special are up here, and they were way up there. But I loved my Micronauts.
Oh, yeah, well, they were cool. I'm looking right now, actually. It was a toy line marketed by Mego from 1976 to 1980.
Yep. All the kids in the neighborhood, well, all the boys in the neighborhood had Micronauts.
And it was apparently based on and licensed from the Microman toy line created by Japanese-based toy company Takara in 1974. And
it was great. I had a translucent blue one. They were kind of like robots or space, astronauts.
Yeah, they were Micronauts.
Micronauts.
In fact, they were tiny little. Yeah, that's a whole thing. So
look,
that was fun.
In the green room, Flynn.
I know. Look who's in the green room, because there's only one person in the green room right now, and she's very close by.
She is the star of the green room.
Who unfortunately was unable to join us yesterday, and we missed her at the meetup. But it's Cara, minifig chick. Here she is. There she is.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Better than yesterday. I had a heck of a week, and there was no way you were going to pry my pajamas off yesterday. It was just not happening.
Oh my God, you look like a weight has been lifted from your shoulders, though. You don't look weighed down by last week.
No.
Well, I am playing with Legos, so
yay!
There you go. That always helps.
Totally.
So, golly, well, I want to wait to do pins until Holly gets here. She said she's on her way. Unfortunately, everyone, and you can leave now if this really making you sad, but Moto will not be joining us today, which is I know he's
working on other projects.
He's got other things to do, and is unable to make it. But it's I always tell everybody, if you can make it, awesome. If you can't make it, that's okay too. You showing up all the time. I mean, my goodness, there's been very, very, very few missed episodes, I have to say.
Well, what the heck am I going to do?
Free clubhouse. No, it is not yet Logan cookie time. I'm just getting the supplies. Sneak preview. It's Logan.
Yeah.
Sneak preview.
Oh my goodness.
It's not yet.
Well, I can share what I've been working on if you want.
Yes, please. Why don't we you're going to give you the big screen.
So I am building the neighbor. So as all of you should know, or maybe you don't, it's a surprise. But Tricky Lug, our current collaborative theme is the Friends Main Street and apartment buildings. And so a bunch of us are going to bring things to Bricks Cascade. And there's a Google form if you want to submit yours to be included in the Flickr that we'll have links to when we're actually at the con. And if you want to mail your mock to us for display, you can do that. Or if you want to send a studio file or some great photographs, one of us might be able to recreate it and have your build in there by proxy, and we would of course give you credit. So what I've been working on.
You're like a 3D printer, or what was it on Star Trek? Picard got his hot tea from. They just send you the file and magically an apartment appears.
It just appears. Hooded One says I sound muted, so I'm going to try and check my microphone settings.
Yeah, you do. Anyway. You sound like it's a little tinny.
Okay. So if you want to get in on it, email trickylug@gmail.com. And I'm just looking for my sound options here. Oh, sound is up. The
replicator.
The replicator. Thank you.
Oh, my Star Trek. My Star Trek. Bona fides have gone down.
So after this, I might switch my headset to a different set. But what I've been working on is the neighborhood for our shops and apartment buildings. And so I have been building the base plates. So we're going to have a space that's like 4 base plates wide. And so I've been building this. It's going to be completely like Friends cobblestones. This is like the path, the walkway.
Sweet. Love it.
And it's a car-free neighborhood, so it's only going to be bicycles and bicycles and bicycle-pulled wagons and push carts and things like that. And so I've got a few to bring along. So it's 7 studs is going to be the cobblestone. And then I've got this intermediate layer of flowers, which is sort of like the transition between the cobblestone pathway and then the shops. And so the shops are 16 deep. And then there's going to be 8 studs in the back where we can put, extensions of, like stairs or slides or whatever, or, backyard stuff,
Chair lifts.
cookouts. Chair lifts, exactly. So I've been working on building these to bring along, and I'm going to bring extra dolls, and I'm going to bring extra foliage and stuff so that we can build it up and make it look like a neighborhood instead of just having our collection of mocks there. It's going to be even cooler.
That's
and
awesome.
Since Heart Lake City, of course, I had to include some of the hearts
as you do,
because as you do.
You're making the glue that holds this neighborhood together.
Working on it.
With no glue.
Without glue.
No glue.
Without glue. No, definitely no glue. All right, I'm going to switch my headset to a different unit, so I'll be on mute for a minute.
Okay.
I have something to share. Flynn and I went to our mailbox, and look what was in the mailbox. This beautiful Valentine from Crystal Star.
I know, it was very sweet. It says, "We were built to be friends" on the back.
Yay, thank you, Crystal. That's so sweet. We love Crystal.
We're back. Oh, do you need another minute?
I think she's incommunicado.
Okay, I'll wait until she's ready.
Hi, Johnny Cat.
Hey, Johnny, how's it going? Oh, that reminds me, everybody, make sure and say hello in the chat so we can give a shout out to everybody. We've got pins today. I know.
We do.
Well, like I said, we're
going to share pins with Holly.
But let's see.
Right, hooded one. It's so I love getting mail.
I know, in real life and in Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
There,
okay.
did you think you were going to get away? You think you were going to get away without hearing Animal Crossing today?
14 minutes it took until that came up. You know I was already thinking it.
I know. And my mom's here. Hi, Mom. How's it going? Hey, Lisa. So yeah, make sure and give that shout out, and we'll be talking to y'all in just a minute. Okay, it looks like she's back and ready to go. Hi.
Hopefully my sound is better. Is it better? You tell me.
It is better.
It's
much better. It is less tinny and more betterer.
You sound closer with your Lieutenant Uhura headset.
Yes. Hello.
Hailing frequencies.
We look so much alike.
Captain. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see here.
What's going on over there?
Well, I'm getting our list up so that we can say hello to everybody.
So, Cara, I'm curious. You're doing cobblestones in the front, and then the shops are 16 deep. The apartments are 8 deep, right?
Right, and the apartments, of course, sit on top of the shops.
Yeah. So that leaves me with 2 questions. One, what happens over that 8 studs of the shop? Is that roof that can be decorated like a little area?
It's space. So, like, if your apartment has a balcony, it can extend out over. Because the 8x16 space for the apartment is just the base floor plan. But,
right.
You can have a bay window. You might have a little patio.
Could a shop have a marquee?
Shops can have a marquee.
Absolutely.
Maybe your apartment sits a little more forward. That you've got a little more like back room space. It's open.
How fun.
It's an open plan.
It's giving me ideas.
Open plan town, if you will.
Open plan town, exactly. And Women's Brick Initiative will be partnering with us. They're going to have the WVI Tower in our neighborhood. So
that's exciting.
They're our friends.
I can't
we're going to have the Friends Vengers.
Yes. Yes. Thank goodness.
So,
all right. Now I noticed
somebody
a really
great
I think
display.
Fabby Fan MK said they were having trouble figuring out how to do a return label. So we'll definitely get that worked out with you and figure that out.
Yes, and maybe you want to connect with Rob because he's mailing things too. So maybe he's already figured it out.
Awesome. Well, let's see who's here, shall we? It looks like It looks like we've got
on someone's paw.
It looks like Apples is here from Europe. Hello, Brickaroo Bonsai, Carolyn, CCCCCC, Chris, Windy, and Wet Chalice. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
David C. Krause Jr. is here. My mom is here. Hi, Mom.
Elise.
Hi, Mom.
We've got Fabufan MKE. Greebling Wizard is here. Heather Mraz, Hooded One, Johnny Cat, Lego Don, and Phil, I expect is there as well. Lisa Head is
Lisa
here.
Head.
Hi. Kicking off the Emscapades, it's Mini Fig Chick,
Mini
Mini Fig Nick, Monica Berry, and In Spirit Moto. We've got Patrick Wismer is here. Wilfred is here. Bonsoir. Will Letchworth, Wyatt Builds, and of course, wherever she may be, Zarakino. Kim. Awesome. Great to see everyone. And I see
he can't join today.
Oh wow, it's going to be a smaller group than usual. I know that Holly will be here soon. She was having trouble with her computer, so hey, it may just be us for a while.
Did you
which
see?
is totally okay.
Just but not merely.
Yeah, but
Did you see that Bricks EDU Blair Archer?
Yes, he's here, and
Is here
I think
as well.
he just said that he's unable to be here. I mean, he's unable to be.
Oh,
on
I
the
think
show.
I was on a different YouTube channel when that happened.
Yeah.
Well, I have something to share today.
Do you?
I
Well,
do.
Let's share pins first, and then
Okay.
Holly can hop in if she wants. Now, you go ahead
She
first,
can
Cara.
Hop pin.
Yes,
So
she
I
can
picked-
hop pin.
I picked this up at our recent trip to Disney, and it is a Funko Pop version of Red the Pirate.
Oh,
Yay.
that's awesome! I don't know that I saw that. That's awesome.
I had to get it because, of course, she's like my favorite new character in Disney. So
Absolutely. All right, and then we've got
What do we have, Flynn?
Well, these ones actually, you may have heard me mention these on the show on Friday when Moto was here, because he actually had a pin from these
Same artist?
from the same place. These are things. So these are our pins for today. Shall I? Well,
Hold them up.
yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, you got that?
So these were
cute.
I put these in Richard's stocking for Christmas this year.
I get bacon.
Yep, you get to be bacon. I will be the egg.
That's so cute.
That's a pretty
It's
cheerful egg.
he's sunny side up. Sorry. All right.
Like you said that to me like I'm 5. On
Well,
some level I am.
5.
some level. All right, here we go.
Okay,
It's
I'll
bacon.
I'll take bacon.
There you go. There's your
Thank
bacon.
you.
I will put my egg on, not on my face.
How about that?
So
Right
we
there.
go. Got my egg. Not that you'll be able to see it on camera, but hey, I got it.
See, Blair is helping to make our theme song true to life.
It's true.
A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Blair.
Excuse me. So, Richard, you mentioned you had something to share.
I do.
What are you sharing today?
Well, so this project we're working on is going to have lights in it.
This project we're working on, what project is that?
Well, that would be the project for Lego House.
Ah, that project that nobody's heard of up
I
until
know.
now, I'm
because
sure.
we like the fishtail. It was this big,
It only took 2 years to get there.
uphill both directions. Well, so
In the snow.
a thing-
Kleenex boxes for shoes.
Yes. I think a thing about third-party Lego lights, and one of the reasons why Lego hasn't done more lighting in their kits is tiny wires are fragile and they
Yes, they
break
are.
really easily. So even if you get super high quality lights,
You have to be careful.
you have to be careful with them because after you put them under studs and pull them a little bit, they might not work. So I have some brand new, exciting Dynamite comes in small packages. Lights from Life Lights.
Oh, all right. Here,
Rob-
I'm gonna.
Oh, fun.
So Rob Hendricks from Lifelights sent this over, and these are some samples of what we're going to use in our piece, and also some extension cables. Here, let's start with very exciting if you're running lights in your piece. Can you see
It
that?
looks like a lot of lights.
There's a lot of
These
cables.
are just extension cables, and these plugs are so small. That's, where is it? There. Can you? Wow. Thank you, Clicky. That's about 3 millimeters, a little bit bigger there. And they plug together these lights. This is a 6-inch cool white LED here. And he color codes things, like the red lights would have red shrink tubing on that. And see that little plug? My project in the coming days is going to be to take an X-Acto knife and cut off about 3/4 of a millimeter little tab on each of those plugs, so they no longer permanently attached to one another.
And what's this crazy thing?
These are, I can't even wait to see what these are called, stud lights, and they're extremely thin little lights.
Oh, but it looks like they go over a 1x4.
Yeah, they go over a 1x4 brick there.
Now,
And
where are the lights though?
the lights are
On the ends?
they're on the ends there, and you can fold that up and aim it.
Oh,
Right?
that
Oh,
is
wow.
cool.
So you can put that in the ceiling, and I've never used these before. After I get them going, I'll show on the show the way they do. But that's a new thing.
So
I
essentially,
haven't
they
tried
go
before.
over studs, and then you can put another like brick or a plate on top of it, so that it locks it in.
I think so. I'm pretty sure if you can. This is a single stud light. I think you're going to be able to put that between studs. Here, I'll mess around with it while we're on the show here and see if I can. I don't have the battery pack, so I won't be able to turn it on the show today. But that little 3 millimeter or less thing on between Flynn and I there, that's the light.
Well, isn't there
Crazy.
oh, that's not another light there next to it too?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that's a solder attachment. So that, I tell you, that Rob Hendricks has some steady hands.
That is
So,
awesome.
Oh,
Richard-
and here's the last one. If you'll focus this one, Clicky. So this is a modulite, and it fits. You could fit that over 2 studs, and it's got an in plug on one end, and you can attach on the other end, so you can daisy chain these together. And that's the little light right there. And he sells them in multiple different colors. So this is, if you want to put the light further away from something and like light a room, you could put these along the perimeter.
Wow.
Wow.
So, Richard, you said a minute ago that you had to trim something off because otherwise, when you couldn't connect them together, they would be permanently connected. Like you.
Yeah, check this out.
It's basically like, you know how on a cable, like you plug into your modem, there's that little clip that keeps it from pulling out. It's kind of like that, right?
It's kind of like that, but you can't compress it once it's got a tooth. And we might be able to see this. Let me see if you.
Oh my goodness! All right,
here, I'm going to take this one out of the bag. This will be the last thing I just put right in the camera here. Okay. Oop.
I don't know if you'll be able to see. That's as close as you can get, but stay in focus.
I think. Let's see. So right on the back there.
Oh.
Where is it? Can you see there's a little nub on the top? And that's designed to hold it together. It's less than 1 millimeter thick. And I put on a headlamp and magnifying glasses, and you just shave that off with a sharp blade. It just takes a second.
Sharp blade. Wow.
And then you can
Terrified of
freely
taking up
plug
too
them
much.
and unplug them again and use them over and over.
Oh,
Right.
He's got a tutorial on how to do that on his website.
That's awesome.
I
Lifelights,
linked to the website.
and we love Rob. Rob is awesome.
He's generous. He understands the creative challenges of Lego and he's worked with us to do some really cool stuff.
And wasn't he kind enough to give us a Tricky Bricks discount last year?
He did.
Yes, he did.
When we did our show on lighting, he absolutely
That's right.
did.
And he's also got he has these 3D printed night lights. I think we showed once
Yes.
too, right?
Oh,
That
those
you
are
can
cool.
build Lego on.
All right, so
So
we
that's
have
lights.
we have somebody in the green room here, all the way from the Pacific Northwest, the provider of the coffee of today's coffee. It's
Oh hell!
Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Hi, everyone.
How's it going?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. I think I'm gonna go here. That's probably a little bit better.
Yeah.
So how's it going? What's going on? You had a little computer hiccup this morning?
Just a little bit. It insisted on updating right before the show, and I tried to use another computer, but this one actually finished updating before my other one even logged in, so we're all good.
So Holly is actually logged in via her Switch today.
More or less, yeah.
If only you could do that. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah. So we've shared pins already. I don't know if you have one, but if you want to, you can play a little catch up here.
Here, I did grab one while I was waiting for things to update. So, this was pretty cool. It's long since I'm apparently the nominated Star Wars fan.
Whoa! Is that like a Star Wars lunchbox and thermos?
Yes, isn't that cool?
That is awesome.
And that image with the lightsaber in the bottom, that's from the original movie art, right? From
Empire.
Yep. That's great.
Yay.
Yeah.
So
that was pretty
cool.
I think I picked that up at Star Wars Celebration.
Back when they made metal lunchboxes.
Apparently I got it at Disney World. It's maybe. I don't know, actually. I still think I got this at Star Wars Celebration, but yeah, that's a good one.
Pretty sweet.
Right, remember you'd have this thermoses, and if you drop it accidentally, it
You hear the
sounds like
yeah, and it would be like a maraca. You could just use it, and then they started coming out with the plastic ones, but metal lunchboxes, which by the way could cause some serious harm.
Yeah,
those, and then they finally switched over to plastic,
especially when they get rusty.
oh yes,
yeah.
But I loved my metal lunchboxes. I still have quite a few of them.
They made when we first started working at Leica, or in the early days, they made a Leica or a Coraline metal lunchbox with matching thermos. Pretty old school.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So they still make them apparently.
Oh. So Hooded One is saying that the new Lego Batman magazine has a cool mini Batmobile designed by Justin.
Oh, cool.
I haven't seen it yet. Cool.
Oh,
Actually, that's so funny because I have I was gonna go Batman minifigs today for our minifigs.
Batman minifigs. I was actually looking at the Batman, just thinking about the Lego Batman movie, and how many great villains they pulled out. I mean, completely ridiculous, but how many?
That's why they're great.
Of the old school villains that they pulled out of retirement just to make a 5-second appearance in the movie. It was so good.
the Lego Batman movie. It's even in there. It's worth a Google.
yeah. Well, it was so what was it Condiment King was one, Polka Dot, Calendar Man, who's actually a little bit more well known, I think.
Calendar Man.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There was just some really
King Tut.
Oh yeah, King Tut and Egghead,
of
course, who was played by Vincent Price.
Yep.
So had to get that one.
Lola Lasagna.
There was no Lola Lasagna, unfortunately. Very, very sad.
It might not be done. Maybe it's in the next one.
They also didn't have Marsha, Queen of Diamonds.
Who played that?
I don't remember that one.
Carolyn Jones, who played Morticia Adams. Was Marsha, Queen of Diamonds.
Oh, who we also saw on the original Wonder Woman.
Yes, she playing Wonder Woman's mother. After Cloris Leachman played it in the pilot, and was ridiculous,
hysterical.
Yeah, it really. Yeah, this is the Wonder Woman
she was
TV
the
show.
Waka Waka Waka.
Yeah,
version.
she was like wah, and then there was but then of course. Famously, or you may or may not remember this, but Lola Lasagna was played by Ethel Merman on the Batman TV show. Yes. So if you don't know who that is, Google it, because
if you want some high energy,
important history right there.
High energy action.
And she lived up to her. She was the mermaniest she could possibly be in that particular one. I think once a long time ago, I shared my my Ethel Merman disco album as one of our things from the crypt, and it is truly a wonder, I must say.
And now for a completely different Merman.
Oh yes,
Yeah. Yes.
Hold, please.
That's Belleville Merman.
Hold, please.
I know, because you have something now too, and I'm super jelly.
Oh.
My favorite Lego superhero is still Larry Poppins from Lego Movie 2. Pretty amazing, yes.
And I just dumped out all the flowers I've been sorting. Oh well.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dear.
Gravity storm.
As you do.
That's how it happens.
Some places just have extra gravity now and then.
I think my chair does.
You'll be
Oh.
finding those flowers many years from now.
Yay! Oh, she has a crown.
She has
Yeah.
a crown.
He's supposed to have a crown, but I didn't want Gwyneth to give me her cool crown, so I kept him
Pink.
crownless.
Metallic
Oh.
pink crown.
Very nice. Very nice.
And let's see here. There's this fabulous metallic blue.
Yeah, that's the one for the guy. That's
Mhm.
like
Yep.
that's his crown. Very
And of
nice.
course. Let's see horse.
Yay, seahorse.
So you were
How does
just
it
like
pose?
grocery shopping and happened upon these? How did
Well-
this happen?
Gwyneth. I don't remember. I think somehow on Instagram I was like, "Oh yay, I'm still looking for this set," and Gwyneth sent me a link to it on eBay, and it was
Oh,
actually
that's
a pretty good
awesome.
price.
Well, Gwyneth is good like that, and she just did that whole article about Belleville on
Yes.
on Brick Nerd, and she is like queen of Belleville now.
I can't wait to talk with her about it.
Yeah, so she did agree that at some point, she said she will come on to talk to us about Belleville, and like
It will be fabulous. Plus,
that will be a great show.
this set is amazing because I'm already working on. So there's 3 of these towers, and 2 of these trans blue turrets. So
I have
my
those
friend's castle mashup has already begun.
very
Nice.
good.
You know who is not here right now would, I think, love that translucent blue turret. Can you imagine what Moto would do with that?
Right?
Of course, he'd probably show up with 16 of them. you
Yeah,
know, to
right.
Put
Yeah.
around
and
his-
it created into some insane like geometric shape that is impossible for anyone to put together but
some
him.
like Lego quantum construction.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Wow, that's pretty exciting, Cara.
It is really exciting.
I think
And also,
anyone who was
yeah.
a major Belleville collector would have to have a lot of space because it
It's
takes
big.
up. It's big.
oh, I love those
Yeah.
pieces.
Yeah, I mean,
Really
I only
bad.
have like a couple of those like big sets, and that's like 2 full bins already.
Yeah, I have a bunch of the smaller ones, and then one. Well, I've got one big one. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see if it happens.
You know, I guess this shouldn't come as a surprise, and this doesn't need to be a big rabbit hole here, but
it's always a big rabbit hole.
we were at this vintage toy store yesterday with Tricky Lug.
Yep.
And I'm walking around, and it's like, here's the Matchbox cars, and here's the Bionicles, and here's the little cabinet full of horse models. And then suddenly I pass between 2 aisles, and I'm in the land of pastel. Everything was pink and peach and lilac, and there wasn't one saturate thing. And then I walked 1 aisle over, and suddenly it was all like red and blue, and I'm a boy toy.
Yeah,
and I'm
there
solid
was-
red.
There was
and
a lot
yellow.
of that. There was a lot of division there between pieces.
Wow.
But it was super fun.
Yeah, it's a really cool store with a lot
And-
a lot of fun stuff there.
There was a lot of exciting pastel stuff, highly detailed.
There usually is. There usually is. So you had something you wanted to talk about.
What was okay? Yeah, I do have. Here's a topic for discussion.
And we may have to bring this up again next week when Moto is back, because I know he'll have some commentary on this. But still, you go right
I'm
ahead.
curious what you all think and what people in the chat think. But as I was musing over my daily Animal Crossing activities this morning, the thought occurred to me that if you're a builder like Bill Volbrecht or Nathan Sawaya, who build studs up with rectilinear bricks, like rectangles and squares and like 2x12s and almost never a curve or a hinge, then you have a challenge of creating curves, right? Like they build big by using these big building bricks, and you can build big fast, but then it's really hard, I find, to do subtle molding of curves and edges, and how do you make an hourglass and all like that.
Yep.
So that's one trade-off for building big. And
on the other hand,
sure,
you know, the bigger you go, the easier it is to imply a curve.
Yes.
Right.
Because of
so
the
it's really
relative-
hard if you're building a, you know, something with 2x4s that's like this big.
Yeah.
But if it's like really big and tall, I think that it's easier. So it's a matter of scale.
and then you have relatively smaller pixel sizes, right?
Right.
Well, I find that kind of building challenging. I haven't really applied my building skills to, say, making a 3-foot tall rocket raccoon. I would find that very challenging.
Oh yeah.
But so
Oh yeah.
what we did, because we built, you know, we learn new things, but we also go with the stuff we know. For the middle of Snake Queen, we went big by building a Technic structure. That the idea was that it was going to be really strong and lightweight and have a lot of open space. But then the challenge we induced was you have to constantly navigate between Technic and system bricks and make it match. And is it going to fall off? And is it like a 1/16 of a millimeter off, you know, by the fourth course? So then on the new piece, which is going to be really big and have less moving parts, we thought, okay, no Technic. That was a total pain. Let's try Duplo, because Duplo will allow us to get really big. But then try and do subtle system bricks underneath it and then convert back to Duplo again.
Yeah,
so I think
that doesn't work.
when you build big, there's always a trade-off. I mean, you both have built bigger things as well. Like what do you find? Do you just build system studs up the whole time?
Well, that's why I like arches and all the other shapes. So, you know,
arches are a big trick. That was one of my. I love arches.
Yeah.
On a big scale.
slopes and wedges and curved slopes.
Yeah, I mean, in my talks with Bill Volbrecht, from what I understand, is that style of building is now considered kind of old school. Like that's what they used to do at the like at the Legoland parks to make, and like in Disneyland to make all those big sculptures.
Well, and
but now
he
they
added a lot to that.
Yes, but now they, you know, they don't really do that much anymore. That's not that's sort of like almost becoming a lost art, is the ability to do that kind of thing.
Well, and one of the reasons why Nathan Sawaya's work stands out so much, because I think he does exquisite modeling of human forms with bricks, like the way he can create curves. Even in Art of the Brick, there's these figures that I think must be about 3 feet, you know, so it's relatively small to have, you know, 2 legs and 2 arms. He made all these flying figures that have different body shapes, which I think is really subtle work.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
a few years ago, we were in Vegas, and we randomly were walking between, I don't know, we were looking for lunch or something, and there's this little like parklet that extended between these 2 hotels, and we walked in and we suddenly saw a Nathan Sawaya figure sitting on the park bench, and it's life size, you know, 2x4 bricks, and of course, obviously they were glued and they were attached to the park benches, but there were several of them. Just, you know, you could go down, sit next to them, take pictures. It was a total surprise. It was really fun.
Oh, how fun, and to be put in a place that invites interaction too.
Right. And obviously there were people who were trying to pick off bricks. I mean, like every single person walking by.
Of course.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They wanted to know.
Like
that's the same question that you get, you know, at a con. It's like, did you glue it together?
Yeah.
Right. Can I take one of these bricks? I think Wilfred made an interesting
why would you think
point.
That's okay. Like, why would you think that it's okay to vandalize a piece of public art?
Because it's so accessible and seen as a toy and not like an oil painting.
Yeah, I think there's less vandalism and just more curiosity.
Well, but
Right.
if you're taking things off of it, like
But you can't
Well, that
take
doesn't
anything off of it.
necessarily
That's
mean
the
they're
point.
gonna take it home with them. I think it's like the curiosity of if it's glued.
I guess.
Right? Is this
Yeah.
as fragile as it looks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested by Wilfred's response. When you're building big, it might be easier to trick the eye. What do you think?
Well, yeah.
And that's funny. I mean, something we've done is in theater, when you build big, you build flats. You build these two-dimensional structures that are meant to look three-dimensional and place them at different depths from the audience. You know, and hanging things, big hanging fabric things. And we do that in Lego too.
Yes.
We make 2D structures that trick the eye.
Absolutely. Well, and then now this is another thing Wilfred says. To me, non-AFOLs at the Lego store always marvel at the big Lego things.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Well, I think
I marvel at them too. I mean, come on.
yeah, but I mean, I think that there's a, especially if you've been to Legoland or if you've been to Disneyland or Disney World and at the Lego store there and seen the big, the big things. I think that is a product of we're used to building small sets. Like that's what, when you see, when that's your experience and that's what you see over and over again is small things. And then I guess it would be rather impressive to see something big for the first time.
Well,
Yeah, not just the modeling, but the sheer quantity of bricks involved, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because
Amazes
scarcity
me.
is a thing with Lego.
Right.
I just look at them and go, gosh, that looks so expensive.
I see a little bit where people are coming from with, being one of the first reactions is, can a brick come off? I would never do that because I don't touch people's art. But I was in the Lego store and I saw a full-size human scale stormtrooper. And the first thing I thought is this glued and is there some kind of structure inside? Like, I want to know whether this
Yes,
thing
yes.
that looks so fragile has not cheats, but additional help.
Yeah.
Because I would find it hard to have the arm not fall off.
That's kind of the funny thing too, is like whenever I find that whenever people sort of discover how things are made, it sort of loses that magical quality sometimes, like when you see that something's been, digitally designed first or something, then all of a sudden people seem a little less impressed somehow. I don't know. It's like, oh, you didn't just go into a box and just grab some parts and throw that together in 10 minutes. Well, anybody could do that then.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like that is exactly the issue with people's concepts of digital and hand done art, right? So somebody sees a photo, something that was photoshopped. And they're like, oh, that was the computer did it for you. You can
chopped.
I've been using Photoshop for 20 years now, at least, if not more.
Yeah.
And there is, a certain amount of skill. Like, if you don't use Photoshop, try just opening it up and trying to figure out how to make it work. Like, it's not an easy task. And I think people dismiss digital a little bit more than they should in some ways.
Right.
On the other hand, there's all these, especially all over, Instagram and celebrity things, and people are like, oh, that's such bad Photoshop. Oh, that's such bad Photoshop. Just trying to call out all the little details, as if they knew, if it was good Photoshop, would they even have noticed it? No, they shouldn't. That's kind of the point in protecting a photo like that. So, I think there's definitely a perception out there that it isn't as easy as you might at first have thought. The computer's not doing it because people clearly abuse the privileges and make really bad photos.
Well, I mean, I know that there's definitely programs that you can do. Like, I know Blender has a thing that you can create a 3D model and then press a button and it'll turn it into a brick model, like a Lego model for you. But you still had to create the 3D model in the first place and which to base it on. So there's that.
Yeah.
And then I think too, when it comes to things like Studio, like people using Studio, yes, it's a computer, but I don't know that necessarily makes it any less valid because you still have to be able to creatively put the digital bricks together. The only time
to touch every brick.
The only thing, I think the only place where it gets weird with the digital design is that it's too easy to create something that wouldn't actually stand up on its own
Well,
if
that
it
go-
was real.
that goes back to the idea of scarcity. Part of it is you go to your own collection at home and you can't do 46 versions of what you want to build because you don't have the bricks in the right colors and the right shapes. And then you go to studio and you don't have that scarcity.
Well,
So I
see,
think the building is the same, but
yeah.
you just get
Well,
everything. What do you
like-
think, Holly?
Yeah, so one of the reasons that the a lot of those guys that do the really big statuesque Lego builds, like a lot of the reasons that they use digital tools is for that reason, to make sure that it's going to be structurally sound, so that they can design sort of the interior and kind of have a plan before they go in there and start putting a million bricks together. But it's just funny to me that like that's part of the good design, and other people see like professional artists using digital tools, and they all of a sudden think that should that's like cheating, or it's easy, or it's less
Right. Well,
it's less impressive somehow, which to me it's actually almost more impressive because it shows like the planning and the thing, you know what I mean? Like I think it's more involved.
Well, it's so unfair
Hi,
too,
Kim.
because like people don't think that Jurassic Park just happened, right? Like they know that took a lot of work. But it comes, one of the things that it comes to, I think, is what I call the mark of human hands. Like if you see someone who made their own Taj Mahal and they made it 4 foot high and they used 10,000 clips in addition to the other million bricks they used, you can tell that people took their hands and assembled all this stuff, and that has a wow factor to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I don't think people associate the same thing with, if let's say you spend, 100 hours making a portrait in Adobe Illustrator, people somehow think that's
less than.
I don't know. What do you think?
And just because you have digital tools doesn't mean that it's magically easy or good. Like you guys have pointed out. I mean, lots of people have made some pretty crap stuff in studio or whatever. Like there's not a button that's like make it good.
Well, like okay, so what do you think about this? I think there's a difference, and I think people make amazing mosaics with computer assisted design.
Sure.
Like Lego mosaics. And Samuel Hatmaker starts with a blank canvas and does it all by hand, as far as I know.
Yep.
Right.
It's a process that he enjoys, obviously.
Yeah,
it's just a different process. It's not like, I think you can use tools. Just use whatever tools to make the art you want to make, right?
Chris, totally true. There's no auto tune in Lego.
Exactly. And then I do find it as much digital building as I or digital design as I have done, I always know that it's going to change when you go to practical bricks. And like you're asking about the whole like, do you just build with standard system? No, I mean like my missing link, I did a full Technic interior, which I couldn't really totally flesh out digitally. Like I kind of just block it out as best I can, just to get an idea of like scale and size and like the major like ordering parts. It's super helpful, like again, that's probably why professional artists that do a lot of really big commissions and stuff probably use tools like this, so that they know approximately at least how many parts they're going to need.
That's why I do it.
Exactly. So that's kind of more of it, is just to get a scale of like, okay, I need to go. So I kind of designed a shell of it just again for approximation. And then I got to go from here to here. That's approximately how many bricks, or how many, like if I'm doing the interior and I'm using Technic parts, it's like, okay, I know I need however many Technic units to get from here to here. And whether I do it with like lift arms or whatever, like I just order, I kind of block it out and I'm like, okay, this kind of all fits and goes together. I get I put my lift arms together and I put my pens, to sort of connect them digitally. But where exactly how I connect them from Technic to standard, I may not have worked out completely. I just make sure the units match up. So that
makes sense.
And then I kind of play with it. Once I actually have enough of those parts together, I might switch it up a little bit. Like, instead of, this really long lift arm, I might use a few short ones instead. And then instead of using like headlight bricks, I might use a bracket or something like that. But it still gives me enough to kind of like play with.
Something
you
to
know
go
what I
It's
mean?
on.
like you're quantifying studs and you know how much it costs per stud unit.
Yeah.
Now, I
yeah,
hate
you figure out
to
the units.
pause this conversation, but we are
Not on the
very
job.
behind, and a certain dog is getting very distressed. So,
Shouldn't take much.
that's right, everybody. Oh, he's already
he
here.
heard the
It's
word.
time for the pause that refreshes. It's Logan Cookie time. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness,
He is on fire. He is on fire
No,
today,
you're
friends.
not
No,
supposed
this
to eat
one.
it yet.
Oh, okay, you can have that one.
You're not supposed to
Yeah, you
eat it
can't
yet.
hold it. There you go.
It's your turn.
Divine
Divine looks like Divine wants a cookie.
always wants a cookie.
Okay, I'll throw this
Snuff
one and then
You
we go.
snuff
These are
one.
little
There you go.
good boy.
What a good boy. And one
More.
more.
You get a last one. Here, you got to say hi to everyone. Hi, everyone.
All right. That's not what he sounds like, but okay. And here we go. And woo! Yay, Logan,
I
the
know.
Olympic champion of cookie
Oh.
jumping.
What does he sound like, Flynn?
And
Yay,
it's Skittles.
She's
Hello,
happy. Can you
Skittles.
catch? You're not going to catch because you're frozen. She gets camera shy and she freezes. Ready? Nope. Didn't even try. Nope, it's right here. Yeah,
I'll get
another
that
one.
one later.
Bonk.
Right here. Here we go. And catch it?
What's that? It's Skittles, Logan.
Nope. Still didn't try. Didn't even try. Oh, she got that one now.
Skittles has a
Got that one.
racket going here. Those are like a savings account.
You don't even try. I just throw it at your face.
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some training.
Oh,
some
yay.
Skittles
Try that one.
practice.
Here. Ready? Nope.
That's like me playing baseball.
Oh
Now she's done. She's like, okay, you've humiliated me enough. Thank you, everybody. That has been Logan Cookie Time.
no. Clean them up.
Oh my goodness.
You made a mess. Look.
Oh my goodness. Well,
That's so funny because she never misses. Like if she's just, if she's not in a high chair,
See,
I think an important
take what we were
to go back to
talking
what we were
about
talking about. I think another important component is using the digital tools is a whole other skill set. Like I can use Studio, but it takes me a while. You need a lot of practice, and it's a whole other way of thinking. So,
It's not-
it's not easy.
I mean,
I'm 11 years into the drawing. I use Vectorworks for drawing at work, and I've been doing it for 11 years. And I could spend another 20, I think, and still, not know. Like I'm just starting to get into 3D this year.
well, I mean, there are so many little fine tuning things in Photoshop that especially because they're constantly adding new things and changing things, and the evolution of the program, you kind of have to stick with it if you want to learn. I mean, I still rely on my bag of tricks, right? Like I have the things that I learned that I use, and the other interesting thing about it too is that there's always multiple ways to approach the same end in these programs.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you want to do this one thing in Photoshop, there's probably at least 6 different ways to do it.
Totally.
Like,
And you still,
we'll see you later.
yeah, and you still maintain your style too. Even when you're using digital tools or whatever, your style totally comes across. And it also helps like building sets too. Like people can kind of like, poo-poo on people that build sets. But I mean, it's like every time you build a set, you're generally learning something. There's like a new technique or a new part that you might not know existed otherwise. Well, that's all really useful. So when you get in to start designing, whether you're doing it digitally or whatever, it's like it's just any bag of tools that you can have is useful. So yeah, it doesn't really matter how you get there, if you if the end product is something that someone enjoys, whatever.
I have thought for a long time that the importance is not necessarily what tool you use as long as it resonates with you,
Totally. Yeah.
but that you know your tools, and that I don't need a shiny new purple hammer just because it has glitter. If
Yeah.
my
What?
someone else might
I would,
want
can
that
I
hammer.
would, I have a hammer, but I would totally get
I was
that.
gonna say
Someone else
I
might-
push back vehemently on that comment.
Well, then that tool would resonate with you, right?
Yeah.
So if
I
does
am a purple glitter hammer.
you know what you're getting for Easter.
It's got to be a little Lego hammer, the ones that you use to like hammer the plates down.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So then
I could use one of those.
I think that design happens in your head, and the tools are how it
Yeah.
gets out of your head. So I'm really curious, both of you experienced Lego builders who do other kinds of design. How much can you rotate 3D objects in your head and do visual representations of what is going to be in the real world inside your head? Like you're driving, and obviously we never think about other things, but can you rotate a friend's apartment in your head and decorate it?
Yeah, I mean that's
Maybe not while you're driving.
yeah. And again, like I mean, I'm pretty capable. That's how my mind works. I'm always in a 3D space, but again, that's where the tools are useful because yeah, you might have the idea in your head, but the execution sometimes it's like easier said than done kind of thing. So whatever tools you need to get you the end result, then
Well, that's I mean, so when we made our theater building, that we kind of started off with like live building, and then I used Studio to kind of flesh out what the bottom floor was going to look like
After we had physically moved the walls 6 times.
and then well no, actually we hadn't at that point. So and what I figured out by doing it digitally was that in the space that we had allotted ourselves, by the time we got chairs in, that it was not going to there was not going to be an aisle. There was no way to have a center aisle. So I knew before we started putting bricks down. So imagine if we had gotten that far in building and then was like, and then we had to take the whole thing apart and move it. And in this way, we were able to just kind of start already. And, let's face it, it was much easier for me to say, okay, we need 12 theater seats to just go copy, paste, seat, than it is to like pull them all out, find them all out of the box, put them in the place, and then make sure that they're going to be right.
Well, I think pre-planning can overcome limitations. And one of the limitations we had was we had a road case with padding that was could only fit a maximum size model in it.
Right. Yeah. There's only so big that it could go.
I like that Blair says he can mentally, you were asking how well you can rotate in your head. Blair says he can do it in his head better than in Studio. Yeah, if you're not used to it, it's pretty funky. I get that's how I work all day, every day. I work in like 3D software and make 3D models and work in a 3D environment. So it's second nature to me. In fact, sometimes I try to explain something to people and it's so clear in my head, like all the angles. I'm like, well, there's, I was just doing this the other day with like a bathroom thing that we were trying to design feet for our cabinet. And I was explaining to the guy that it was like 90 degrees on one side, and then it was like a 45 on the other. And I was like explaining it. Nobody was understanding. So I finally had to draw it out, and I had to draw like orthographic views of like, well, this is what it looks like from this side, and this is what it looks like from this side. And it was amazing to me that like, why do you not get it? Like,
well, but we've talked about that frequently here about how we work together and how having drawings to be able to share with what you're thinking, because just like anything in the world, two different people can look at the same thing and see two different things.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to collaborate, then you need to be able to communicate with others. And if you're going to create something brand new, you need to be able to somehow get it out of your head and into the real world.
Yeah, but when you're collaborating with people that always have to like can't navigate with the map facing north, I can't be on that wavelength, There's people that navigate with map always facing north, and then there's people that navigate with the map always turning the direction that you're going.
Got
which
it. Sure. Okay.
blows my
sure.
mind. Like, I don't know how you could ever get any sense of direction if the map is always changing.
I blame video games. Not really.
My map is always north in my video games.
Well, when I draw plans of a theater and I go into the theater to make all that happen in the real world, I turn the plans so that they match the theater.
That's different, though. Yeah.
Well,
I
tell
mean,
me more what you mean.
Well, I mean, so for instance, like, I mean, it's kind of like when you talk left or right, like, is it your left or my right? But like, that's a different thing. Like to understand like perspective, like from what perspective a direction is. But like, if you're going north, or if you're going east, and your map looks like east is north, you know what I mean?
That's kind of what Google Maps does, right? Like when you're like GPSing. Yes, it does. So it turns the roads so that it's always,
I can't
always
do
facing
that.
you.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
No, I
It's
have
like
to have
you-
my
but
map.
you
I
can
do
do it
the
at
zoom
work.
out where I just look at the map and I look at the path, and then I just know which way to turn, which way to go. It messes me up if it's like showing me that I'm always going like anyway.
Well, see, that I find that
Apparently
very
I'm the weird
interesting.
one.
I think that points to the fact that you have a well-developed mental eye that you can actually deal with. And I think this is important, being able to rotate and look at things in different ways in your head. And I
It's
think
just a
when people
spatial
say,
thing.
I
Yeah.
can't do art, I think one of the things they're thinking is, I can't imagine something new that I haven't seen in my head. Do you think that's right? Like, that's a skill, right? Being able to have that mental eye and
I
imagine
don't know. I
something.
think people are just wired differently. And I use that as an example because it's my husband and I, even though we definitely have spatial skills, like we have very similar spatial skill. Well, we have spatial skills. They're not similar apparently,
Got it.
but it's like, it's just different. It's just the way that we kind of, it's kind of like people that put puzzles together. One person will start all the way around, doing the edge pieces first, and another person will go by color and sort color. It's like you might finish the puzzle at the same time, but you have those different approaches. Yeah. And sometimes if you're completely different and like if you're trying to do a puzzle together and you want to put all the colors together, but somebody keeps taking all those colors for the edges, then you're just like, rawr.
It's like you're looking for different signposts.
Very
Well,
specific.
it's
metaphor
true. Like
for that.
Flynn and I approach construction completely differently. We approach assembling an AV system completely differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, again, it's another one of those sort of like multiple ways to reach the same end.
Right.
Like there's neither is wrong.
No
It's
right
just
or wrong.
what
It's
works
just
for
like
you.
when you're wired differently, it's really hard to understand sometimes how someone else operates.
Right.
Well, and that's a challenge with collaboration. If you're like, no, it has to be this way. It's, finding that middle ground.
Yeah. So I find it funny. Anyway, that kind of went back to your question of like, how well do you operate with like 3D space in your head? That was kind of a long way of answering that question.
Well, it's interesting too, because even Lego instructions, just the book without, on the angles that they sometimes put the instructions, and it's kind of hard to see where, like what way or what. I mean,
yeah.
I've done it before. I mean, a lot of it, of course, is because I was usually paying attention to the stream and building at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to screw up a step in the Lego instructions and have to go back.
Yeah. If you don't notice that they've turned it and you have like a almost but not 100% symmetrical build. Oh yeah, that'll get you. Yep.
Been there, done that.
Yep. We all have. Everyone's guilty of that, I am sure.
Oh yeah.
That typewriter. Oh Lord.
That was a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wilfred talks about left and right. I have friends who are really, really gifted designers who have to think before knowing which is left and which is right.
Absolutely. Yeah. My husband's like that. Same thing. Like he's dyslexic and he can't navigate and he doesn't know left from right, but like he does the same shit that I do. So it's like, it's not like he's incapable or that he's smarter than I am by miles. So it's just kind of funny to try and understand like how that works. Like how can you not how can you not be like just the normal day-to-day, like have the capability of functioning
Well,
kind of normal under normal terms, but then he can manage to put the most complex things together. I just amazes me.
Well, it seems like maybe you and he are running different software.
We run the same software. We run it completely differently, but we run the same software.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that one time though. See, he's not a Lego builder though. And it was really funny that when I was working on Susan, and trying to get those connections from Technic to standard, it was the foot connection that was really tricky because it needed to have a lot of stability. I knew it was going to be top heavy. Now I never intended that he was going to stand up on his own. I kind of knew, like, based on the puppet that I was modeling it after, the puppets don't stand up on their own. Like, I knew he was just going to be like too top heavy, but he still needed to be able to like stay upright even with the support,
Yeah.
So yeah, trying to get the foot connection where, I had all the Technic structure inside, and then it was going to kind of like a ball joint on the foot or some kind of click connection there. And I spent, a couple of days like raging over trying to get all that to fit and to get it to like, I wanted to at least have the foot and the leg standing up by itself without wobbling or anything. And, I was really like getting upset with it and getting frustrated, and it was getting late, and he comes over there, like, trying to like mansplain it to me of like how those Technic connections work, even though it's like
Molly, Lego actually.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And then he like took
I'm
over,
not
and
actually
he's like,
mimicking
"Oh, you
his
should do
voice."
it like this." And he starts like putting all the Technic pieces together, and I'm just standing there watching him. I was like, "Okay, we're just gonna see how this plays out." It wasn't.
So I wanted
Not
to address something Scott said. Can't wait for the day Lego provides online 3D instructions. We can turn around and see all the angles. Now, they actually do for a few sets, not a lot, but there are some that include. So there is an app called Instructions that Lego puts out that you can get on your tablet or your phone. And there are certain models that they actually have those 3D instructions. Like I know for a fact that the Bookshop modular that came out a couple years ago has that function.
It solves so many mysteries of that hidden stud. Where does it go? There.
It was, and I love it, and I wish they would do it with all of them, like, because it is fantastic. I mean, I know they would that would probably be very difficult, but it was a really, really cool thing, and there were more of them that are like that now.
I don't know why it would be difficult though, because they're doing. I'm pretty sure they do all their instructions in like a 3D program anyway. It seems like it makes sense to me to just make that format accessible. I don't know why they don't do it for everything.
I'm sure so smooth.
I'm sure that's probably going to right there. There's a dedicated team that has to do that, right? So I mean, I'm sure that's not just super easy, but it's they could probably do it.
I'm building off digital instructions now, but it's just a PDF. I think kind of like what Dave was saying here. Yeah, I just build off Lego PDF instructions for the most part.
Yep.
Yeah, and being able to zoom in is really helpful.
Yeah.
Especially if you can't tell the difference between that dark brown and black and dark gray.
Yeah, sometimes it's just as bad in the PDF though. Like the trick between knowing if it's black or dark brown is usually, I could be wrong, but I think black has like a white outline and dark brown doesn't.
Oh, thanks for that.
There you go.
I don't know about that. I'll have to check.
Okay. Yeah, we should look into that.
How about between dark blue and dark brown?
I think it's the same thing.
I love this. Lego should go back to the 70s, 80s instructions. Would be fun to see how many people would struggle building even the easy sets. Well, if you remember,
it's rough.
I know it was a long time ago, but a while back, we tried to build our friend Tina's one of the original castles with the instructions.
They don't outline the bricks.
They didn't outline the bricks. And also it was like a very old, like Xeroxed digital like thing that we found in the instructions. And we ended up renaming the episode Hassle with the Castle because it was so hard to put together. Oh man. It was so much. It was crazy.
See, and you know what? The kids who put that together probably got us to the moon.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, maybe the time doesn't line up, but it takes some sturdy stuff.
Yeah, that was something else. Oh
my
goodness.
A satellite on Mars.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. That's probably better.
Or a rover. That's what I meant. Rover on Mars.
Rover.
Oh yes, Stephen. I'm sure Stephen put that
There
castle
you
together
go.
in about
I
5
mean,
minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I've built some of those. I have several of those vintage sets that I've either built or rebuilt that I've had to work off those instructions. And yeah,
I love that. Old instructions was like playing Spot the Difference. It totally was.
totally. But I loved that. That's the funny thing, is that's so aligned with all my interests as a kid. Like when I was a kid, I loved the like look and find books and puzzles and just puzzles in general. So I mean, that was like right in line. Like that was the challenge of it, was the fun part.
Where's Waldo?
Well, this is exciting. Legodon says the instructions app recently added a lot of the older instruction books from older sets that were not previously there, like Atlantis and Monster Fighters.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Huh.
That's really
Yeah.
cool, because I know that they went like a certain time back, but definitely not that far. That's really cool.
I do find more often now when I'm looking for instructions that I am finding them more on the Lego website.
Now he's saying
really great.
specifically the instructions app,
Oh,
not just on the website.
So like
Yeah.
the 3D with a 3D view, or just PDF? What do you mean?
No, he's just saying in PDF form, they are on the instructions app, not just going to the Lego
I
site
see.
and downloading them.
Yeah.
You can access them in the app.
Okay, I've never actually used the instructions app, so I have no clue.
I like it. I mean, I have a warm spot in my heart for paper. You know, especially I'm trying to have a much more paperless office now. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm doing better. And I love having instructions that I can open and sit on the table.
Yeah, I just usually like find them through Brickset, because usually I'm like cataloging my sets and everything anyway. And then if for anyone that doesn't use Brickset for whatever reason, I can't imagine. But yeah, under each set in Brickset, there's a tab there for instructions. And they don't always go to lego.com, but a lot of times they do.
Right.
I don't use Brickset.
You don't use Brickset?
Nope.
Wow.
Well, because
How
she
do you
doesn't
catalog stuff.
She doesn't
Why would I
catalog.
need to?
Not everybody catalogs everything, Holly.
What?
Not everybody has.
Why?
like-
Why would I want to?
And
That's a
not
weirdo?
everybody
I'm a
has a
weirdo.
temperature-controlled room full of every Lego set ever made, plus 5 of each set. So maybe they don't need to have.
I guess I don't know. Like, I mean, I started cataloging stuff even when I only had like 10 sets. I just
It sounds like part of your hobby, like part of there has to be some fun in cataloging.
I think it's because it helps in finding parts. Like if I'm looking for a part, it's most useful to know that like a set has that part.
I can go to Bricklink and find the part, and it'll tell me.
That's true. I guess I started using Brickset before I started. Like I don't catalog anything on Bricklink, but obviously yes, you can search for parts that way. But I know if I have the set though on Brickset. You know what I mean?
Oh, got it. Yeah.
So if I look it up on Bricklink or whatever, and I see that part is in that set, then I can go to Brickset and be like, oh yes, I do have that set. And you know, especially if it's like little poly bags or something like that, then it's really useful. So I just go hunt that down.
On the other hand, I mean, it's like I mean, poly bags. I keep a few of them built because they're nice. Other than that, I build them, I play with them, and it goes into the regular storage. So I would never have a need to catalog poly bags.
And then for figures
they
too,
don't exist as poly bags.
Well, but I think
you collect minifigs too, right? So like I wouldn't even be able to keep track of which minifigs I already have if I didn't have a.
Well, I think maybe what Holly's getting at with. I mean, I think maybe what Holly's getting at with the polybag thing is like, what if that polybag had X piece that you really needed and you couldn't remember if you had bought that polybag and had that piece for whatever reason?
Or minifigs, like if I go to the Bricks and Minifigs and I want to get a minifig or whatever, it's like, or if I see something, I'm like, oh, do I have that? Or when you're doing collectible minifigs, and I keep track of like which ones I already have. So when I'm going to find other ones, like it's just an easy resource for me to just check it off as I get them. It's almost like habit, I guess. But Excel sheet, really, Wilfred? Spreadsheet?
I would use Excel, because it's easy and convenient. I'd probably use the Google Sheet because it's accessible mobilely.
That is a lot of work.
But also, I think I have a pretty good memory. So
I mean, I love spreadsheets. I use spreadsheets for everything, but that just seems like a lot of work to have to like manually enter stuff.
Well, again, here we are with this. There's many ways to reach the same end.
Well, if anyone doesn't know, okay, I feel like maybe it is worth saying then, because I just kind of took it for granted that everyone was utilizing it. And I'm sure there's similar things, but Brickset does have the function that if you just go in, and by the way, if you've ever been on Brickset and you don't have like a registered like username, it's like unbearable with the ads.
The ads are terrible.
But if you have an account, like you just register with like your email address or whatever, then all the ads and stuff go away. It's much better. But yeah, it's really easy. Like you just look up the set number, and then they have all kinds of like information there about like, you know, the original price, like what its average is on Bricklink. You can search by year, by theme, it'll show you what minifigs are in it. And you can check things off, like if it's something you own, and you can even make like little customized, like you can put notes in on it. So for me, sometimes it's like if I take parts from a set, like I've opened a set, but I've only taken that one part, I'll put in the note section, like, you know, missing this one part. Or if I buy something from somebody that's like no minifigs or something, you can put that in the notes. And then you can also make little custom checkboxes and stuff too. So it's a really great tool. And then you can go in and look at your whole inventory. So I can like with one click, I can tell you exactly how many minifigs I own, which I will not tell you, but but it's pretty cool. It's like there's a lot of great tools there. So if anyone can make use of them, you should.
I guess I just see it as being like extra work. And
it's not habitual, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it would reduce my enjoyment, because I don't feel that need to catalog. If I have a set and I'm keeping it as a set, it either goes into, you know, a gallon or 2 gallon bag, or occasionally back in the box, and I just tape it shut and I know that I have it and I can rebuild it. If I take parts from it, I put a sticky note in there that says removed 8 2x4 orange bricks or whatever. And then
I'm not great about that either.
I think too, for us anyway, like we do have a fair amount of sets, but we've also bought a lot of Lego in bulk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't catalog all that.
That ability to know whether we have a certain piece for something is a little lessened when you've got a fair amount of bulk.
No, it's true. It definitely isn't like I haven't cataloged everything. I certainly have not cataloged like every brick I own. That would be insanity. But it is really handy. More than a few times have I been like in a crunch where it's like, oh, I need that one part, and then I can go look and see like if it's in something I own, and that's incredibly useful. Oh wait, what? It's 30% off.
Blair mentions video being 30% off.
That's
30% off where?
On the Lego website?
I don't know, but I want that. I want the boom box if I don't get any of the other ones. And Is
Will still here? Will, tell us what you have in stock.
Fairy. I don't have the fairy with the fairy wings. I thought that there was one in the bandmates, and there's not, and I was very sad.
Oh, that's an interesting point Monica Berry brings up.
Oh, here we go. Monica says it's good to have some sort of record for insurance when you have a decent sized collection. There is that as well. Online and in store, says
on the Lego website, 30% off.
Whoa. And are they actually in stock?
Your video.
Yes, they're in stock.
Oh, pirate ship sold out. Boo.
Boombox is there, so get the boombox.
I'm going right now.
Thanks for the hot tip. I do have the pirate ship, thank God. So
Richard's ready to unplug the computer.
I mean, there's really not a lot. It's mostly the little boxes.
Well, the little boxes has the fairy that I want.
Yeah.
Man.
The folk fairy.
Is the fairy there?
Folk fairy beatbox.
Oh, there's the fairy. Do I have fairy?
Oh, the candy castle.
Check my inventory. I will be right back.
And they're out of stock of the bandmates.
Check your catalog.
No, I know. I mean, as much as I do utilize cataloging, I'm not always like on it. So I have to sometimes go back and sort of like check things off.
Oh yeah, folk fairy beatbox. There it is.
Oh, Candy Castle stage with the gummy bear.
Okay,
have
well,
the
let's not let this devolve
I
into
know.
us all looking at our
Stopping.
screens here. But
Whatever. Everyone else in the chat's doing the same thing.
I know. I'm sure they probably are.
Blair, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I really want that new modular. I know it's going to be around for a while, but man,
Oh, yeah.
And now that's the thing is like I have like this $100 in points at the Lego store, and I was like, oh, I'm going to spend it on the Chinese New Year set. No, I'm going to spend it on the modular. No, I'm going to spend it on the tall neck
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn
Yeah?
set. Oh my goodness.
Flynn,
knew you were
Hooded
gonna
One
get that.
says the pirate ship is available in the Netherlands.
I'm off to the Netherlands.
How many Nook miles do we have saved
I
up?
don't know.
Yeah, did you see my comment? I was only in there briefly for Friday's discussion, but when you were showing the Horizon Dawn
Horizon
thing,
Forbidden West.
I said, oh look, it's the first Genshin minifig.
Yes, because
They had Aloy.
Aloy. Yeah,
With Aloy, yeah.
that's man, what a cool set. Like we already kind of like Moto and I had a little discussion about it on Friday, so I don't want to like dive into it again, but what a cool set. I am just so incredibly excited for that. And I was even more excited to find that I thought that new game was only for PS5, and I was like lamenting, and I actually went shopping online to see if I could find a PS5, but there aren't any available.
No, they haven't
What do you
been for a
know? I
while.
can read
Yeah.
lips.
So anyway, yeah.
Maybe you should build one out of Technic.
No. Okay. So yeah, there's actually a lot of people in that. Now we're doing that thing again where everybody's gonna go and buy out everything on the on the shop, which is fine.
Well, Monica says the pirate ship is on Amazon 22% off, so it is available. But all the bandmates are what I really need.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are gonna
those
be
aren't
the
there.
hard ones to find because that was sort of those ones really kind of got messed up in how they got delivered, I think.
Yeah, or not delivered. More to the point.
Well, yes. Oh, see, the boombox has a fairy.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's got like the little. Oh, and it's got the vampire guy as well.
Oh, the boombox is really good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I gotta say.
I have it. I actually built that one.
How was the build?
It was awesome. Yeah, I'll show it to you. Hang on.
And now you have 2 1x5 white plates.
See, I want them to bring back another season of video with or without the app. That's up to them. But with the backstories of these characters, because the characters are so exciting.
The
I want to see.
backstories. I need backstories.
Spin box.
Oh, it's so
Ooh.
cute. Now, do
Yeah,
we
I had
know
a lot of those 1x5s because bricks and pieces. But
are those wings available on Bricks and Pieces? Those fairy wings?
no, I don't think so.
Really?
I don't. Were they? Let me see. I would have them if they ever were.
I'm surprised. I would think that would be something that would happen. No, says Blair. No, why? Why, God, why?
Nope. We had those. We had the little dragon wing.
Hey.
Yeah.
But nope. I don't have any fairy wings in here. Nope.
Wilfred says you should just make up the backstories.
Well, I guess that's
how
the
this
thing
opens.
with Lego. We can just build our own, right?
Oh, see, now the folk fairy beatbox has the blue wings, but the only way to get the pink wings is to get the boombox. I call that the Velma effect.
That's how they get you.
The Velma effect.
Wilfred, I think you're absolutely
you
right.
open this thing?
And
Oh.
I'm just trying to drum up support for my theory that video is going to come back.
Oh dear.
I think it's too exciting. It can't disappear.
That's a rabbit hole we do not need
I
to
love
go
the
down.
Richard conspiracy theory.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, I forgot how this thing opens. I feel
Now,
like I'm an
now
idiot.
curiously, has
Yeah.
have they combined the Pick-a-Brick and Bricks and Pieces yet?
They're
I
supposed
think it's
to.
rolling
I don't know
out.
when.
I think Wilfred maybe said that it was combined already.
Oh, very
Oh,
good.
really?
Yes, but not necessarily here yet. So I think it depends on your location.
Okay,
Mm,
because I
okay.
looked
Or
up,
maybe it was fitted one. I can't remember. Sorry.
I looked up
No,
bricks
okay.
and pieces, and I was sent to. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's still separate, at least where we are. So
I'm so confused.
What
Oh,
are you
okay. That's
confused
how it
about?
opens. That's how it opens. All right, I figured it out. Sorry, I have my little guys on top, so they were sort of blocking the thing. Okay, so it opens up like that. And then like that.
Oh, you can get the 1x5.
And then I have a whole little party.
oh, it's so
That's
good.
so cute.
Yay.
And then it's got the little like VIP lounge in the back.
What?
Oh.
That is hilarious. Is that that's the VIP lounge, or that's like the green room?
Could be either, I guess.
Okay.
Sure. Is there a difference,
I'm looking it
Depends
up
on the
Bricks and
story you're
Pieces
telling.
now, and I don't see the wings. That's very sad making. I just gotta
Uh-oh.
say.
How is that
Oh,
not
Wilfred
connected?
says in France, possibly in Europe, it's combined.
Oh, there you go. Now they have the other parts for those minifigs, like the hair and all that, but I don't see the
Mhm.
wings.
I don't know where my fairy is.
Now, why would that be, I wonder? Because that seems like something you would definitely be. Oh, I wonder. Now that makes me wonder if we're going to see that show up in a Build a Minifig station sometime soon.
Oh.
That is so
All right.
awesome.
The ferry is available in downtown San Francisco.
You know, if I could get that as a real functioning boombox, I just might.
I mean,
Right?
it wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much.
That is pretty cool.
You could totally fit a phone in here. So
Well, the front of it sort of looks like an iPod, like the front center of it.
yeah. Like I think if you you could probably slip some sort of. I mean, I guess actually we'd probably have to modify it a little bit.
So Waxblatt is saying that they're already combined in the UK, and they don't show parts that are out of stock. Matthew, what? Matthew says the fairy wings are are on the BAM wall.
Maybe they'll get here soon. So I know Will said that he's going to send me a picture of the San Francisco BAM. He said they should be getting it in any day now.
Oh, if they do, I will rush down. Rush!
I do not know where the fairy is. That bothers me.
Oh, well, I guess all your cataloging maybe was for naught there.
Well, cataloging and organizing are kind of two different
and
things.
that's why, that's what Wilfred was saying, that he uses a spreadsheet to say where he stores them.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Oh my goodness, I would never be able to leave the house.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Excel would say this is a circular reference, and I'd never be able to escape.
Yeah, I am not perfect. That is for sure. It has been revealed.
Oh no! Greebling Wizard says I pushed a plate down too
Oh.
hard on a Star Wars mock I'm working on, and the entire side of the cliff collapsed. No.
No.
See, I was thinking about that with our piece just yesterday. I was reminding myself, squeeze, don't press.
Yep, squeeze, don't press.
But
Squeeze,
then-
don't press.
And I was remembering that now, but then when we're 40 bricks above that, am I going to remember there's this one part where you have to squeeze, not press?
Yes. So just make that a blanket statement. Oh my goodness.
It's
well,
true. It's one of the truisms of Lego.
it's been a lively discussion today.
I would say. Thanks
Lively
for-
That's gonna bother me now. I'm gonna spend the whole day trying to find that stupid fairy.
My plan worked.
I have every other character, every other video character is here.
Well, Monica,
Did you check your catalog to see if you have it?
It came with this, yes?
Yes, it did come with that.
I know it did because it has the little it even has the little fairy thing. So each character it comes with gets their own little dots
Little stage.
thing. Yeah. So There's like the
Hmm.
rocker guy, which he's pretty cool.
That's the vampire guy.
Yeah. There's that
I
guy.
bet the fairy wings are hanging out with
yeah,
your
I think
rancor
that.
claws.
I told you I do have the rancor. The
We'll
rancor
help
claws
you
intact.
find them when we come see you in a few weeks.
3
It's
weeks.
gonna be found today, is what I'm trying to tell you.
But if but I'm just gonna say if we find them, we get to keep them.
No, I'm not agreeing to those terms.
Matthew, you are
agreeing.
so generous, but you don't need to send us your bricks.
I
would
do have a
love for you
bucket
to-
full of extra video stuff though, so
Oh, very nice.
you could
Very
probably
nice.
rummage through that.
Matthew, I would love for you to send us pictures of your mocks in your amazing city.
Well, he wants to send us a forest friend to include in our mock for the Lego house.
Oh, well, that's definitely that's a whole different matter.
It is a whole different matter. All right, friends, it has been a delightful, vibrant, and lively conversation today about cataloging and digital building and all of the things.
I'm mulling this conversation over in my head in 3D right now.
I'm turning it to the north and examining it.
I've said too
Oh
much.
my goodness, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks, Holly and Kara, for coming. We miss you, Moto and Blair, today. Blair, I hope you feel better with that. And I'm sure we will see Moto back. I'm so glad I got to see Moto this week, though, on Friday when he co-hosted the show with me. That was a lot of fun. Oh, and that reminds
Thanks,
me
Moto.
about co-hosting the show on a build challenge day, because we have a new build challenge and the theme is dragons. That is the challenge. That is the 2-week challenge, dragons. So whatever that means to you, however you choose to express that in a mock, I hope to see lots of awesome dragon mocks in 2 weeks.
You know who we should let know about our 2-week challenge
Who's that?
is our newest little Lego designer.
Aaron, who is loves dragons. Yes, we can talk to. I actually considered getting a hold of him to see if he's had media training yet, to see if he could join us on that episode. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
He's busy making adventures in city, isn't he?
He is. That's true.
Very cool.
Very, very
Are we going to
true.
do minifigs?
The what now?
Are we going to do minifigs?
Oh, minifigs,
right.
yeah.
I forgot minifood every time.
Well, it wouldn't be a show if I remembered.
Ahoy, hoy, Jeff Kramer.
Okay, so Kara.
So I have one of my little vignettes. This is how I like to display my minifigs. So I have Shower Guy CMF taking a bubble bath when all of a sudden the spiders started encroaching.
No,
So his partner has come in. His partner has come in to help him out.
I have so been there. You can't get away from them.
Not in the tub.
And then if you don't see it anymore, that's even worse.
Ooh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yay.
All right, Holly.
All right. So for today, like I said, I was going to show Batman figures, and we've got the zebra Batman.
Where on earth did you get that?
I don't know. I can't recall. It just magically appeared.
Fancy. It's a Lego miracle.
And then, and this is kind of like a set deal because I wanted to show some of my other favorite Batman sets. If you guys probably.
Oh
seen
yeah,
them.
that
Oh,
one has like the
cool.
wizard Batman and and the bunny Batman, which I love.
Is that a bat shield?
So dark. There we go.
Yeah, he's
That's
like a
yeah.
Roman
Cool.
centurion Batman. Very cool.
Yeah, those are so good. Money Batman.
Bunny Batman.
Mhm.
We're gonna go, but Richard and I are both going the non-traditional route on ours today.
Yeah, mine's actually going to be a rerun, but it's one of my favorite figures. I can't even believe you talked about the more challenging time in the 70s and 80s to build Lego. This is
Yep.
from the Lunar Lander set.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
That is amazing.
There's your astronaut.
Excellent.
Wow.
Very cool.
Wow. How are those arms connected?
There, it's a hinge.
It's like like one of those click hinge deals.
Oh.
Yep.
Look at that expressive face. It's like
So
the Mandalorian. Right
much
there.
emotion
And
right
those-
there.
Are those compatible with like other finger hinges?
I believe they are.
It might
well-
be.
Oh, actually, hold it up again. there's this custom piece for the. Maybe they use these for Technic figures. I'm not. Others on the stream could tell us, but
No, but on the brick with the hinge part sticking out, I wonder if you can connect finger hinges to those. Yeah.
I don't know. It looks.
It looks different.
We'll
We'll have to try.
So mine is not actually a minifig per se, but it has to do with our upcoming challenge. So and it was close by. So and that is
Nice.
This awesome vintage dragon that I love.
Look at the expression on that face. It's like
Yeah.
sinister but goofy.
Wait, where's his jaw?
It's in there.
He's just close. He's just got his mouth
I see.
closed.
Okay. Ah, there we
Yeah.
go. Okay.
Kind of derpy.
There's a bit of an overbite.
Yeah, just a little bit. Hooded One says no, it will not work with the finger
Oh.
hinges.
Ah, dang. Okay.
That's an awesome dragon.
No. Oh my goodness!
That's
All
a
right,
pretty
well,
cool dragon.
It is a pretty cool dragon. I love it. I don't think I don't know. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe we're gonna have like a dragon party.
Wow.
We have a lot of dragons.
This dragon is so buff. It's got like a 32 pack.
Yeah, he's got a 32 pack.
Well, that's the reptile, right? That's
Mhm.
the
It
snake
makes up for those teeny tiny
part of
arms.
his DNA.
I know. I've been doing a lot. He's been doing a lot of crunches lately. Oh my goodness! All right, friends. It's been a delight. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks again, Cara and Holly, for coming. Super excited to have our Tricky Lug meetup at Bricks Cascade in 3 weeks. Like that is just
So
super
exciting.
exciting. So until next time, which will be this Tuesday on Twitch, where I'll be building more on our Lego house model. And then Friday, where we'll also be building more on our Lego house model, although you're not going to be here from what I understand.
I won't. I'm going to be working in a theater.
He's going to be working in a theater, so you just got me, which I'm sorry. But it should be a fun time building. We'll do something fun, some kind of like question and answer or something like that. So anywho, we'll see how it goes. But
building is fun.
Building is fun time. So until next time, friends, don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wear your mask, get that vaccine, get that booster, build a dragon, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Happy building.
Bye.
Stop dragging my heart around. Hey.
Magic dragon.